Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Bryce. Huge thanks to Bryce and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Bryce reached out asking for a high-powered deck built around Ishai, Ojutai Dragonspeaker, and Jeska, Thrice REborn, while staying under $1,000 budget, and I was more than happy to oblige. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Ishai Ojutai Dragonspeaker is a 4-mana 1/1 legendary bird monk with flying and partner. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, we put a +1/+1 counter on Ishai Ojutai Dragonspeaker. Jeska, Thrice REborn is a 3-mana legendary planeswalker with 0 loyalty who can be our commander and has partner. Additionally, she enters the battlefield with a loyalty counter on her for each time we've cast a commander from the command zone this game. We may pay 0 loyalty and choose a creature. Until our next turn, if that creature would deal combat damage to one of our opponents, it deals triple that damage to that player instead. Or we may remove X loyalty counters and have Jeska deal X damage to each of up to 3 targets. So the point of this deck is to grow Ishai Ojutai Dragonspeaker as large as possible and then one-shot someone. We're not a Voltron deck in the traditional sense, but we do have some Voltron pieces, as well as lots of protection to keep our commander safe. But before we get to our deck list, we should keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Scalding Tarn, Arid Mesa, Flooded Strand, Misty Rainforest, Bloodstained Mire, Marsh Flats, Rogrim Triome, Steam Vents, Sacred Foundry, Hallowed Fountain, Training Center, Spectator Seating, Sea of Clouds, Storm-Carved Coast, Sundown Pass, Deserted Beach, Sulphur Falls, Clifftop Retreat, Glacial Fortress, Volatile Fjord, Alpine Meadow, Glacial Floodplain, Reliquary Tower, Scavenger Grounds, Myriad Landscape, 3 islands, 3 mountains, and 3 plains. Smothering Tithe, Stormkiln Artist, and Dockside Extortionist for treasure generation. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Creativity, Talisman of Conviction, Talisman of Progress, Izzet Signet, Boros Signet, Azorius Signet, Chromatic Lantern, and Thrawn Dynamo for Mana Rocks, and Sword of the Animist for Land Ramp. Jeska's Will, Whirlwind of Thought, Archmage Emeritus, Esper Sentinel, Trophy Mage, Enlightened Tutor, Rhystic Study, Open the Armory, Windfall, Echo of Eons, and Underworld Breach help us to dig through our deck and find answers. Boros Charm, Generous Gift, Dovin's Veto, Swords to Plowshares, Abrade, Chaos Warp, Deflecting Palm, Teferi's Protection, Render Silent, Deflecting Swat, Ojutai's Command, Arcane Denial, Flawless Maneuver, Chance for Glory, and Reinterpret make up our spot removal and interaction package. Slash the Ranks, Cyclonic Rift, Settle the Wreckage, Single Combat, and Divine Reckoning help to reset the board as needed. Unleash Fury, Teamer Battle Rage, Shelter, God's Willing, Blacksmith Skill, Sheltering Light, Akroma's Will, Valorous Stance, Chandra's Ignition, Shadow Spear, and Hammer of Nazan help to support our deck strategy. Sunforger is the key card in our build and helps to explain much of our card choices thus far. Ketis, Emberclaw Familiar, helps us to close out games faster. Swiftfoot Boots for protection. Feather the Redeemed allows us to recast most of our support cards. Kaikar Wind's Fury as an optional win condition. And good old Mother of Runes for protection or to get through blockers as needed. Now that we have our deck lists, we should compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 36 lands and 14 pieces of ramp, 15 pieces of interaction, 5 board wipes, 2 pieces of Graveyard Hate in Echo of Eons and Scavenger Grounds, 1 Sudden I Win card in Sunforger. Sunforger is why I have Thrawn Dynamo in the deck. Normally, I don't want to run Thrawn Dynamo unless I can use it to cast my commander, and I've got a bunch of high mana value spells that need the 3 colorless mana. But since we're planning on re-equipping Sunforger every turn cycle, having that extra mana is very helpful. We can use Sunforger to protect our commander, counter our opponent's spells, or even draw cards if needed. As you can see, we're not exactly a Voltron deck, but we are focused on killing people with our commander. Assuming our opponents like casting spells, our commander will eventually be large enough to one-shot someone. So a lot of our spells grant creature protection from a specific color, which basically makes Ishai unblockable. Combined with Jeska, we should be able to eliminate someone very quickly. Now, as far as opening hands are concerned, we want a lot of ramp. Our commander is 4 mana, and we need mana open to protect him. So ideally, we want 3 to 4 lands, 1 or 2 pieces of ramp, plus a piece of protection. We'd love to have a tutor for our Sunforger, but if we don't have that, we'll settle for a different piece of card advantage. Do you have a Sunforger deck? What color is your deck? Who's your commander? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. The link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Damon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, OT, Richard, Pob Zombie, Mark, Danny, Sandwich, Alex, Bryce, and John. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.